Hi, it's Peter Cutforth with you again, bringing you part 2 of content arbitrage. And if you, like me, are interested in maximizing the return on investment and minimizing the amount of time that you spend on the whole area of content for your business and using that content in all sorts of different ways to get the message out there about your company, your products and services, and so on, then I'm going to be sharing something with you very key today. So I'd encourage you to watch right through this very short video. It's quite a simple concept, but it's absolutely key. Now, in part 1 of this series, which was just an introduction, I explained to you how we're going to be looking at various means and ways of leveraging your time to produce different types of content in the quickest and easiest way that you can use to get, as I said, get the message out about your business. Now, whether that be video content like I'm making, or video content that's not face to camera, it can be different ways of doing, like you can do slideshow videos and so on, whether it be an audio, whether it be writing blog posts, Facebook posts, contents for your content about your actual products or services. All those sorts of things. There are numerous ways that content is important for your business if you're doing any kind of online marketing at all, which of course you should be. I mentioned in video 1 that we were going to be using that video as a test piece of content, if you like, or an example piece of content, and you were going to watch over my shoulder as I use that piece of content and turn it into over 32 different instances, if you like, of content. So this is part 2, and here we go. I'm going to give you the key to, one of the keys anyway, to leveraging your time as a content producer in your business. So if you haven't watched video 1, you'll be able to go below this video and see the link to that and watch that. But here's the main leverage key, and that is that I took that video and I got it transcribed. So here is the transcription. Now, this amounts to something like, I think, 13 or 1400 words of content. And so that is actually quite a long article. The typical length of article online is probably only 300 to 500 words. And this cost me, I think it was the princely sum of $9 to get done. And with the service that I use, I sent the request through at 10 to 4 in the afternoon, and I had this transcript back in my inbox by 20 to 6 the same time. This is in Australia. So it took less than 2 hours and $9 for me to get this done. Now, this is not my staff or any kind of exclusive service that just to me. This is a service that all of you can access just the same way. And so now I have 1400 words of content that I can do all sorts of different things with. Now, I hope the penny has perhaps just dropped for you, that what you saw me do in video 1 was I made a video as I was actually driving along in the car. Now, I did mention that probably many of you won't feel comfortable doing that. Personally, I do. It doesn't really matter. As you can see at the moment, because I'm going to be waving around this document to you, I'm actually in my car, in a different car from last video, but I'm actually parked by the side of the road. My video is just, okay, well, scratch that. I'm actually driving again. And if you are going to use your iPhone for recording videos, one thing you have to check is that you have some room to save the video to on your iPhone. That last video just suddenly decided that I had met my limit on the iPhone. Anyway, so the point I was making is that it only takes 5 or 10 minutes to make a video, even if you're not doing it while you're multitasking, like driving along in the car doing something else. Even if you just sit at your desk, put your iPhone up on a little stand and make a video. It's only going to take you 5, 10, 15 minutes at the max by the time you think about what you're going to say and even if you need to make some notes and do several takes, you will then have to edit it, of course. So I have edited this video slightly, which only really takes me 5 minutes or so. So that is the key that to how to use video content to basically get it, start the leverage and the arbitrage process. So from here, in the next video, we're going to be going to the next step, and I'm going to be showing you what we do with that content, the transcribed content from here, which is where it starts to get really interesting. But just before I sign off for this video, I should also just say one of the reasons why I love video and audio as the methodology of creating your initial content is that it's so quick. And sure, you've got to develop some level of comfort with just talking, but if you have an area of expertise, the chances are you're pretty comfortable talking about it. So the point is that by using video and audio content, you're getting already such great leverage on your time, because it's much quicker to speak content generally than it is to sit at a keyboard and start tapping away, getting writer's block, all those sorts of things that happen to us. And so what happens is, unless you can put in place something to use these different forms of content like video in this format or audio, if you limit yourself only to just working away on a keyboard, what's going to happen is it's not going to happen. It's as simple as that. You're just never going to get to it, because the friction point mentally and within your time schedule is just going to be like, oh my goodness, how am I going to sit down and spend an hour writing out a 500, 600, 700 word blog post or article? Okay, so if video like this or any other kind of video all seems a little bit too hard for you, granted, you sometimes, you don't always, but sometimes you might have to edit that video, so that involves using some software, so that all might be a bit hard. If that's the case, then stay tuned for the next part of this series, where I'm going to be talking about creating audio content, not video. Now, also bear in mind that in creating a video content like this, I'm also creating audio at the same time, in as much that I sent that first video off to the transcription service and they use the audio of that to transcribe. I can also, with some very simple software, just strip out the audio as an MP3 file of my video, and then I've got just an audio file as well, which you can do certain things with, which we'll be talking about later on. So that's about it for today. Watch out for the next episode, which is going to be actually not a video. It's going to be an actual audio file which you can just listen to as an audio file with no video to watch. And also bear in mind that the great thing about this is not only from our perspective as content producers, but also as our customers or prospects' perspective as content consumers. So for me, I listen to a lot of training on webinars on my phone when I'm doing other things, when I'm driving, when I'm washing up, when I'm at the gym or whatever. Similarly with audio. That's one of the reasons behind the huge increase in popularity of podcasts these days. Massive increase, massive consumption of content is through podcasts. They're purely just audio. So don't think that video is the only way to go. There's millions and millions of people that will gladly consume your content just on audio. So with that thought, I look forward to talking with you in the next video.